There's this feeling that keeps showing up more and more, especially when you start trying to take your life seriously. It's the feeling that whatever you're doing right now is not enough. You could be working, studying, improving, building something, and still feel like there's something else you should be doing on top of it. Another habit, another goal, another skill, another routine, and it never really stops. At first, it sounds like a good thing. Doing more usually looks like progress, more effort, more output, more direction. But after a while, it starts to turn into something else. You stop adding things because they actually matter to you, and you start adding them because it feels wrong to sit still, even though you're not sitting still. Even when your day is already full, your brain starts listing new things like you're falling behind on some invincible checklist. Sorry, invisible. I can't speak today. And the weird part is that this doesn't always come from laziness or something like that. It can come from the exact opposite. You want to improve, you want to move forward, you want to make something out of your time, but that desire slowly turns into pressure. And that pressure starts telling you that whatever you're currently focused on is not enough on its own. So you add more and more until nothing gets your full attention anymore. I've had moments where I quit things just to simplify everything. Not because I didn't care about those things, but because I cared too much about too many things at the same time. It reached a point where I was technically doing a lot, but nothing felt like it's actually moving. So you might be you switch between tasks, between goals that might not even be yours, between ideas, and at the end of the day, you're still just tired, not really further ahead in any one direction. What makes it worse is that doing more looks responsible from the outside. If you're busy, it feels like you're doing something right. But being busy and being focused are not the same thing. You can fill your entire day and still be stuck in the same place mentally. Sometimes adding more just spreads your attention thinner, and what actually matters starts getting less of it. There's also this fear that if you stop adding things, you're just wasting time. Like, if you're not constantly improving, you're going backwards. So even rest starts feeling wrong, like you shouldn't rest at all. Even simple days feel like you're missing something, and slowly your life becomes less about what you want to do and more about what you feel like you should be doing next. I think a lot of people end up overwhelmed, not because they might be doing necessarily the wrong things, but because they're doing too many things, even if they're right, all at once. You try to work on your body, your mind, your money, your skills, your social life, your future, all at the same time, and then wonder why nothing feels like it's moving. Everything is half done, everything is waiting for attention. And the truth is, most progress doesn't come from stacking more things on top of each other. It comes from staying with something long enough for it to actually change you. That's the part people just throw out of the window. Not the effort itself, but the staying, the not switching, the not constantly restarting something new because the current thing feels slow or like it's not moving. And I noticed this in my own way when I started cutting things out instead of adding more. At first, it feels like you're falling behind a bit, like you're doing less than you should, but after a while, something just changes. The things you kept actually started to move again. You start seeing small progress again. And it's not because you added more, but because you finally gave something enough space and time to grow. That's the difference between building your life and scattering it. One of them takes time in one direction, the other takes energy in every direction at once. And when everything is pulling at your attention, nothing really gets enough of it to even matter. The problem with always doing more is that it convinces you that where you are right now is never worth fully committing to. That there's always something better you should be starting instead. And in that mindset, you end up living in a constant state of starting without much time spent actually finishing or becoming good at anything in particular. Sometimes doing more is exactly what you need, but sometimes the better move is doing less and actually staying with it. Not because you're trying to put limits on yourself, which I think you shouldn't do, but because you're trying to finally let something go deep enough to matter. Do less. Sometimes less is more.